Right. So I guess that's going to take us into our heavyweight hammer match, right? So
big controversy there.
Big controversy, right? And I think everybody here probably has opinions on that, possibly differing. So that's Michael Todd and Jerry Cadorette for the hammer, and this is a rematch to a match where Jerry won. Was probably the longest and most grueling match I've ever witnessed. And when I say that, I don't mean like just one of them. I'm talking about every single, like every round, every restart, everything. And, the match kind of turned out to be fairly similar, but definitely some different things happened. So Sam, if you want to go ahead and walk us through what you saw from your perspective.
Well, the match definitely lived up to what everyone thought it was going to be. And a lot of times when you think of Michael Todd and you think of making a prediction, you go 3-1 or 3-2. That's hard to say that prediction with Michael's style because normally he steals one, he steals them all. But not with Jerry. It definitely came out to most of us kind of picked Michael, and it was a 3-2. The thing that was really threw a curveball into it is the stinking strap. The strap just it ruined. It didn't ruin it, but it just everyone didn't want to see it end like it did, and a lot of people are kind of blaming on the strap. Like both of the dudes fought like they were supposed to. The more the strap separated, Jerry, it was harder for him to finish. And I felt like it was helping Michael Todd be to where he wouldn't get pinned and him trying to come around and get his press in against Jerry's press. So as a ref, and Bartwood is a very good ref, and he played it 100% smart. He couldn't stop the match, and everyone's seen the strap. Like, everyone's just like, what do you do? Because there's no rule saying we stopped the match at this point or anything like that. So, I mean, it just went like it did, and then that was just the worst thing to see. Like, no one knew what to do, and their strap doesn't help anything either. That thin little strap is the worst. I've thought this for many years. They should get rid of it to a thicker strap. Would help some of that. But I feel like if they would have called it and stopped the match, it would have hurt. It would have hurt. Mike a little bit because he kind of climbed like he was supposed to, and he had it to where he could almost switch into his press. So it would have hurt Mike a little bit, but then it would have helped Jerry. Right. So no one gained ground there, and then except the elbow fouls and stuff. So tell me kind of what you guys thought, there.
Right, that's what I was going to ask for. So first off, like, I know this match was 2-2 coming into the fifth round. And I'm trying to remember because I only watched it one time, so I didn't get a chance to review before this. But let's recap, if you can, if you remember, Storm, like how things went, because I know there were some things that jumped out to me about, just the overall arm wrestling of both guys, and then, just some of the pins and how they went down.
So I remember that first pin that Jerry got was quick. Yeah. I don't know if, Mike was just trying to get ready to drop into a King's move, or he just wasn't engaging the right pressure, but Jerry got that pin, awfully fast. If I remember right, the rest of the matches, were all long, drawn out. I think Mike got one good transition to a press on all of them. The rest of them were the other two were, as you expect, long, drawn out wars. But, I mean, I think the biggest topic was how that last match went down.
Right.
I only got to watch it the once live, but I didn't see that first foul that Jerry got when it was, how they did the over the table view. I didn't see that foul. It probably did happen. I just didn't see it. And then the second foul, I mean, it was pretty obvious. And where they called the third foul, where he didn't put his elbow back to the table, I mean, that is in the rules.
Right.
None of us were happy with the way the match was called because we all wanted to see how it really, truly would have went down. You can't be mad at Michael Todd because, he wanted to play it by the rules. But you can't be mad at Jerry either, because I mean, there was so much emotion, so much energy, intensity going on during that match. Both those guys probably gave more in that one match than some arm wrestlers gave in their whole career.
Right.
For me, though, I've actually was in a similar situation. Back in 2016, me and RVJ were going against each other in Chicago. I beat him fair the first, I think, 2 matches. Third match, I beat him on fouls. I wasn't ready to win on fouls. I'm just, to me, I don't want to go there and win on fouls. I want to figure out who the better arm wrestlers at that time. Like, I don't want there to be controversy. I want to know in my mind that I truly was the best arm wrestler. I ended up actually losing to RVJ in Chicago in 2016 because of that. But I went home knowing, I could have made improvements and I wasn't the best arm wrestler at that time. And, I mean, to me, I still think if Michael Todd wanted to prove that without any argument that he came in there that night, he was the best arm wrestler, he should have said, all right, screw that foul, let's go again. So the way he kind of, stormed off and presented the way he was, I mean, I wouldn't say I lost respect for him because, I mean, he came, he showed up, and he battled like a champion would. I just feel, I don't know, I just felt like there should have been, that little extension. Him and Jerry went to war with each other. Show that respect and finish the match out. You came there, you put probably 20 minutes on the table between them both. But in another aspect, if you're really going to war with somebody, you win at all costs.
Right. And yeah, I kind of agree with you. And like, there's 2 sides to this story. Like, there's 2 sides to that. Like, some of the biggest complaints about the WAL is the lack of the enforcement of rules. So, like, earlier in the season, Sam retained the hammer against Jeff Hale on fouls. So, and to me, the enforcement of the rules, a third foul, it's the only thing that creates credibility, in the league. But the flip side to that is I think every one of us there, and Sam probably included, wanted to finish that match, and I don't even know if that was Michael Todd's motivation to not want to finish the match, but I think it seemed to me, from my perspective and knowing, like, that he was more bent on, like, principle aspect of this is the same scenario with these the restarts on fouls that we're not supposed to have. We're supposed to be in a running foul system. And I think he reflected back to Devin and Dave. But the first thing that stood out to me watching it from my couch was some of the, like, pin line depth things. On Jerry's flash pin, we had no rear angle of how deep Michael's wrist was. It seemed like, in comparison to the previous matches, that was a very early pin call. Now, depending on the league, I mean, it might get called right away, but it seemed like on that day, the pins were deep until that one. I noticed that. Also noticed that this is the 2 fouls thing, the runner and the restart happened prior. I think that was in the match 3, where Jerry got a runner and they restarted the match, and Bart said, well, Michael, you stopped pulling. And I can't help but think that both of those guys were blown up. If somebody raises their elbow, there's probably a whole lot of play when they're not really driving. And Michael said, I didn't stop pulling. And I don't think he was lying. I think there was just that much play, and he was so gassed out that I don't think that he stopped pulling. I don't think that was a mistake that he made, but maybe that's what Bart perceived. And then obviously how it ended up. A lot of people have some things to say about that. So Sam, what's your opinion on it, and what did you see? Because we got to see what the camera showed us, not what was actually going on.
So what I think happened the first match when Jerry got that fast pin, I think Michael tried a new move on him. Clearly didn't work. Michael did exactly what I thought he would do. He went back in his old style, and I think he pulled out the win. So the third style, Michael was talking. He's always wanted to finish the match quick. He didn't want to go in the grueling battle like he was before, but Jerry is so good, and he impresses me. Like, Michael thought he was working Jerry, and Jerry just, act like, okay, he's going with it, and he was going inside and then rolling outside, inside. Well, Jerry timed it just right and just sunk his shoulder like he does, got that second pin. So all of a sudden, now Jerry's up 2-1. And so Michael don't have no wiggle room at this point, 0. So he gets the next win when the strap comes apart. He gets that win. Now for that third win, it's all or nothing for both guys. This is the hammer. I mean, Michael thinks he's got everything to lose, right? And Jerry's just like, he's just trying to win the hammer. So it really came down to that last match is when Jerry was fighting to the death, and he had an elbow foul. So that second elbow foul, he lifted it and hung it in the air. He didn't even get the pin. I was right there. He had to get the pin before a restart, and he didn't, his elbow was up, but he should have somehow got the pin. That's not the greatest thing to do, but when you're fighting for death, life or death, you still got to get that pin for the restart. And he never pinned it, and he never really set his elbow down. And then it was the controversy of, should this happen again, or is that your third foul because you didn't put your elbow down? And it took a while, and the things got heated. And then when they did all the reviews, I really do think they made the right choice, because Jerry, if you go back and really watch it, Jerry should have either put his elbow down or got the pin, right? And in Michael's thing, he's fighting for the hammer. This means everything to him. And I think Bart and them, they made the right choice. But I really, really, really hated to see this, because when two guys are fighting as hard as they can, who gives up, and where's the breaking point? Where is these guys' breaking point? I'm not sure we quite seen where their breaking point was, because none of them really gave up. I mean, Jerry just did that trying to get a restart, to redo it, because the strap was completely that far apart. There was a huge gap between, the strap was loose already. He just wanted another shot at it. So I seen why Jerry did that, but he didn't perfect it enough for it to pass. No one bought it. He didn't sell it. He needed that pin to sell it and get the restart.
No, I agree that WAL made the right choice as far as professionalism and enforcing the rules. I just still would have liked to see the match finish out, to find out who showed up, strength.
Absolutely.
Because I don't think Jerry, I could be really wrong. Obviously, I wasn't there, but just the way I saw it from the broadcasting point was, Jerry wasn't thinking 100% clearly. He's just trying to pin or get back to, a fair strap setup. Michael Todd did the right thing. He just stayed posted high. But hats off to both of them. Both of them showed,
Right.
I mean, commitment to not give up whatsoever. I've never seen somebody have a match and then a rematch, a year later, and both people just be so equally matched and so determined to beat the other person. I think the fact that they're 1-1 with each other, these guys are going to have a rematch again in 2020. It's got to happen. You got to figure out who's the best. They're both equal now, and it's going to be probably, just as close as these last two were. And
they might need to dedicate a whole hour to that match.
Yeah, they're going to have to make it like a 2-match series or 3-match series so they could have it done in time.